Start recording. Cool. So the next step here is going to be creating some ammo pickups so that you can like recharge that. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to create a new ammo pickup blueprint. So I'm going to leave these interfaces here. I'm going to go down to the content browser here. And we're going to want to do the first person blueprints here. Blueprints, we've got different things here. I'm looking for, we're going to add a new blueprint class. We're going to create this one. We're going to pick an actor type, and we're going to call it ammo pickup. All right. So there's our ammo pickup blueprint, and we're going to double click on it to open up our blueprint editor for the ammo thing. Right now we just have this like white sphere, which is just not super interesting, right? So we want to make this a lot more interesting, and so the first thing to do here is going to be to add a static mesh to this. We're going to go up here into the components thing. We're going to go add component and static mesh, and that's going to give us a sphere with the ability to make it meshable. We're going to it's not going to have like a mesh attached to it yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this. We're going to go to let's see here. Right click. There's a static mesh here with none. We've got that. Here we're going to do this drop down, and we're going to pick something out from it. So we can pick out all kinds of different things. Down here in view options, we can actually get more different sorts of aspects. So we're going to do show plugin content and show engine content to make sure we get enough different like default assets. We're going to look here for shape pipe, and that'll create a little pipe there, which we can use for kind of a this. And then here we're going to go down to the materials thing, and I'm going to change this to be a we can kind of pick at whatever material we want. I'm going to choose something kind of metally. I'm going to choose this metallic component. I think that'll kind of look cool and interesting. Metallic car paint. And we're going to do some things here to edit our transform here and make our scale of all of these different things much smaller. And we could also, do this via the interface too. I'm also going to like rotate it a little bit too. So let's see here. I'm going to use our select and rotate. I'm going to, instead of kind of laying that way, let's see here. I'm going to have it be kind of upright. So here we've got our rotation, we got our different axes. I'm going to make this 90. I'm going to make this 0, and this back to 0. Okay. So now we've got this little pipe thing that stands up straight, and we can use that just as like a stand-in for what we want. So here, what we're going to do is we want to make it so that the person can interact with our object. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. We've got static mesh. We're going to add a component to this. We're going to do a capsule collision here. And that'll add a sort of capsule collision for our particular little object. And here you can see around it how it's got these kind of like orangish lines, right, around it. So that's kind of the bounds of where this collision will happen around that particular object that we have. So we gave this inside, we have like a scaling of 0.5, but here on the outside we're doubling that, so we get, you know, the ability to pick it up from outside of it. Yeah. So we've done that, and now with the mesh and the collider, we can start adding different events to it. So we're going to go over to our event graph. We're going to clear this out again because, yeah, blank slate, right? And what we want to do is to be able to make this collectible when the player like overlaps with the collider. So we're going to do right click on here. We're going to do a event actor begin overlap from our collision module here. We're going to do a cast to first person character. We're going to drag this other actor into our object here. And what we want to do here is we want to get a, as first person character, we want to get the player current ammo. We want to add a new variable for our capsule here to capture how many ammo pickup count is what we're going to call this, and we're going to give it a integer value, make it instance editable, compile it, and let's say we pick up 5 per capsule, right? We're going to say take this variable, the player count, we're going to do an add, we're going to drag our pickup count here, we're going to drag that to here, so now you get that, and we get that. And then what we're going to do is we want to drag this into a set player current ammo. So set player current ammo. There you go. And we want to move that to there. And we're going to drag this as first person character thing over to this target as well. And there we go. We've added the functionality to be able to pick things up. So there we go. We compile this. We also want to add this thing into the world, right? So here we're gonna go over here. We're gonna add the pickup here. Gonna bring that a little bit more vertical. We're gonna add another one. Oh, Add another instance here, put it a little bit higher. Add another instance here, put it a little bit higher. And save current, build. It's going to rebuild the lighting, which can take a little while. Come on. Should have just hit play. There's a lot of potential for more interesting like spawning of these things, right? So you could imagine making like more cylinders and using the static mesh editor to make these more, you know, ammo like or whatever. What in the world? Okay, let's drop in the. Okay, so here we are, and there's our little cubes. If we run into them, you see the numbers going up to 490, 540, etc. But you know, these things don't disappear yet, right? We're just bouncing into them, getting like kind of infinite ammo because we can just do that. So we need to make it so that these pickups go away whenever we pick them up. So we're going to do something kind of like exactly the same as we did with the cylinders before. We're going to add a play sound at location. We're going to select some effect to do here, right? So we'll do possesses player, which is kind of a one that works. And we're going to have the location here where we're playing that sound. We're going to drag over here. We're going to do get actor location. So there we go. Now we've got our thing for that. And then what we're going to do here is after we play the sound, we're going to destroy actor. So goodbye pickup. And we're going to compile that, and then we're going to play. And so now whenever we get back to this, we go up here, run over the thing, it makes a whoosh noise, and you know, you pick it up and the things disappear, right? So so that's kind of how you make like collectible stuff, right? So you create a new blueprint for the object, and then you go through, you create that capsule for the collision, for kind of like the sphere of influence of it, and then you modify whatever player state you need to do for the pickup. So like a modification on this, right, would be like a health pack, right? Or like a stim pack for changing like stamina rundown or something like that. So you change your player state and then you remove the pickup in some way there. So pretty cool, pretty cool stuff there for that. So the kind of final thing is, you know, we want to have some some goal tracking. And I think the book kind of goes over like how to put that in the blueprint in the heads up display. I don't think it's quite so necessary to go over that with everyone. One of the things that we want to set up though is that we have a target goal, and that we have some objective for the players, right? For the player's objective. And so the way that we do that is we actually embed that variable on the first person character. And you'll notice we're getting quite a few variables now. So yeah, that's kind of keeping these organized is kind of a trick. I'm going to set this target goal. I'm going to compile it, and we'll just say we want to blow up two cylinders for our thing. So we do that, and what we want to do is to create a way for the game to stop when you hit your target goal. So yeah, so that's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to create a win menu screen that shows up whenever they create that. We're going to go to back to the content selector. So we're going to go to our content browser here. We're going to go to the where is it? First blueprint. We're going to go to the UI folder. We have like a HUD widget blueprint. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add another blueprint widget under user interface. There's widget blueprint. We're going to call this one win menu. We're going to pop that open. And so now we get kind of a new window for our win menu. So we're going to have three different things that happen inside of this. So we're going to have a text element, and then we're going to have two buttons, one to restart the game and one to quit the game. So we're going to drop these into here. So this text block element, we're going to call this the you win, right? Because this is the win menu. And we'll give it the text here, you win, boom. We'll go under the font here and make this like super big. So, there's really no ambiguity here. And we're going to anchor it to the top middle with a center justification. That's weird. Huh. That is not what I thought would happen there. So let's do... Well, there we go. You can play around with like the prettiness of it as you go. We're going to create one button that's we'll call it the there. Call this the restart and quit. So we'll do a restart. Here we'll do this one, call it quit. And for both of these, we want to move them around in our little world here. We'll change this button to over here, make it bigger. Change this button to over here, make it bigger. And these are kind of like empty buttons right now, so we want to change them to actually have some text on it. So let's see here. Where are these again? Should be a text element, but so we skipped that. So we add a text element into that, then we add a text element into the quit. So in the restart here, I'm gonna change this right here to restart. Change this right here to quit. There we go. Change the size of this thing. Now we got it centered. And you can make this thing prettier with more precision than that. So one of the big things with the ways that buttons work is that you're also firing off events. And so here's where you set up your functions for these different things. So we're going to go to the restart button. We're going to do an on-clicked event here. And what we're going to do here is to restart it. We're going to drag an event over here, and we're going to do the open level node. And we're going to do this by that. And then here for the level name, we have to actually match the level name in our main thing. So first person example map is our level name, rather unfortunately. So first person example map. And that should reset the game. And so we also want to make it so that whenever we reset the game that we close this menu. So we're going to do a remove from parent node that will make this thing disappear. We also want to make the quit button do something. So we're going to go back to the designer, go to quit, and then go down to on-clicked again. And then for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to attach a quit game action, and so that will remove the whole thing. So we've created our bindings for each of our buttons. If you are wanting to stay, organized, right? So restart button, just a little bit easier to see what's going on, and the quit button here. So create comment, quit button. There we go. Yeah, so that sets up kind of all the actions around all of these different things. And then the final thing that we want to do is to actually make it show whenever this happens. So we want this thing to trigger for all of these different aspects, to end the game once all of the different conditions are met. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our our first person character where kind of all of these different things are happening. And we're going to add a custom event here, custom event handler. And we're going to call this thing end game. And when we end the game, what we need to do is we need to pause the game so that things don't continue. We're going to have it be a check mark there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a get player controller node. That gives us kind of our character here, and we're going to actually show the mouse cursor so that they can interact with the menu, because the cursor is defaults to not being shown. Let's see here. I'm gonna drag it from here. Set show mouse cursor to positive. There we go. And then after this action, we're going to do a create widget to add our win menu. So create widget. We're going to select from our classes here. We're going to get our win menu. And then we're going to add it to the viewport so that it actually displays. So add viewport. And there you go. And we're going to have the this be there. So that connects that together. So all of those different things go together. And that's how you kind of like add the menu. So now we have like the visibility for the first person character, and we have the actual like logic of the buttons on there. And then the last thing that we have to do is to actually like trigger the win condition. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go to the cylinder target, and on this we're going to have we've got this cast to first person character. We've got the incrementer for the target kill count, right? What we're going to do is we're going to look for the thing. We're going to chain off of this set behavior. We're going to do a branch. We're going to do the condition here. We're going to do a greater than or equal to, and we'll have two of these. We're going to use this target kill count greater than or equal to. We're going to do the get target goal. We're going to drag that into there, so we get that. And if they are bigger, what we're going to do is we're going to do drag this over here, and we're going to do a end game node, which will finish our thing, but it's not loading that in from our earlier thing. So 1 second, let me figure out this. So we're going to do this end game there, and now we have that event firing off from the first person character. And then we're going to and then I think we had the destroy actor from much earlier. So there you go. Um, so we're going to save this, and we're going to so we didn't get to build this. I think we have to get our first-person character and also drag it into this target for the end game. So I think that finishes it out. So if we do that and then we do compile, there we go. All right, so we set this up. We set up a target of 2. So let's see if we can do that. So now we can move these things up. And there's our win menu. We can click restart. And restarts, reloads the thing. So that's cool. And there you go. And then you can test the quit functionality, and it will like crash out, which is kind of the goal of quitting, right? So that's basically all the different steps for chapter 4, and for putting in together like a win menu and a game state and character pickup items and all these different aspects of the gameplay. I think like, I'm just dragging it in there to like lecture on it, right? But like if you're working on it and like not presenting to people actively, like make it look good, I'm like not going through all the menus to do all the centering and all the rest of it, because it would kind of distract from like the thematic elements. But I think like as you're going through the homework, like it's a game, make it look good. Like that's hopefully somewhat obvious. So that's kind of the go-to there. And I think like just to emphasize like some of the bigger concepts that are going on here, right, is that you're editing different blueprints for different aspects of the game where these like things happen. So like the little ammo container only has stuff in its blueprint relating to what happens to the player when you pick it up. And so in that blueprint you have the like get player character, and that's how you modify all those different variables going through. And then things like the end game state, like that's being attached to the cylinders because that's the thing that changes the variable that triggers the win condition. And later, as you get into like more complex games and stuff, like you'll probably have like kind of hierarchies of things that like, like if you've got like a goblin and a skeleton, like those would both inherit from a like, enemy class, and you would put the code for that for the win state in your enemy class as opposed to the goblin or the skeleton class. And then finally, like stuff that's kind of at the global level of the game, like it's a first person game, right? So like everything kind of centers on your first person character, and so that's where you put like your logic about like opening the win menu and things like that. So those are kind of like the like programming design decisions that you make in order to make this kind of like go together. So I think that kind of gets us up to the end of chapter 4, and I think that sets us up through next Monday's assignment. I'll smash the recordings together, the 2 different sessions, and upload to the YouTube, and then after that, I think next week's lecture is going to be kind of like a much longer, bigger one, because it's the like intro to the AI thing, the decision trees and all that, and then also some like principles around AI. So like next week's going to be a really important week. So, be here if you can. Well, I mean, also you registered for the class, so like this is the time you should be here. But all those things. We'll get moving on that, and then yeah, keep going through the classes there. Next week will be big, and then there'll be no lecture Thanksgiving week.